Alright, hello AP Bio. This is an online sim walkthrough that you can use to go through for the mark and recapture optional activity. There is a lab where you can count beans or rice, but you will be actively marking them with a Sharpie or something. If you don't want to do that and ruin the beans or actually count the beans, here is an online sim that you can go through. So I'll link to it. I'm just going to walk you through how to use it because it wasn't exactly intuitive right away. It's basically a data collection tool for you. So when you open the link, it'll look like this. These are your traps that can be opened or closed with this button right here. Marking the voles, you would like put marks on them. They'll have little red dots, you'll see, and releasing them out of the trap or unmarking and starting all over. So just as a control, initial data, if you want to change something and see what happens, feel free, like play around all you want. You could choose a really large population. I'm just gonna let them go and move around here. You can make them move slowly if you like to be able to keep an eye on them, or you can go fast if you want to give yourself a seizure or something. And so random distribution looks like that. You could try this with clumped distribution, so the voles kind of like herd around together, and uniform. I don't know why that happens. So I would maybe not use uniform because I don't really know what it's doing. I'm going to use random for this purpose. Trap experience will be neutral, again, if you want to play with something on there and see what happens if it's a negative effect or a positive effect getting trapped. Number of traps, 4, 8. I'm just going to use the 4. And I'm actually going to move them. I don't love that the traps are all down here at the bottom, so you can move the trap, which one, and I'm going to move trap 1 up and like over. I'm going to kind of distribute them uniformly around this field rather than all in one area, because I've got the voles moving randomly, so I'm going to kind of have the traps in random positions here, or at least distributed. So moving 3 over and 4. Okay, so I've got my traps. I'm going to open and allow a number of voles to get in there. So you can look down here on the lower left of the screen, total marked that they're in traps, total in traps. Right now there are 7 in the traps. So I could mark these 7 and go ahead and mark the voles. Now that has total marked is 7 in my population, and I know that, but I want to try to get, like, you could start with any number, but you need to know what that number is. In the lab activity, it's recommended to mark 10, but you're actually marking your own beans or pieces of rice or pennies or whatever. This is a computer sim, so I happen to trap 7 and I marked 7. So I'm going to release the voles and let them go. I'm going to open the traps again, close them. How many more do I have? 4. Release. Open. Close. 3. Total in traps 3. I'm going to mark them again. So now I have a total marked 7. I got to slow these down. There we go. Okay, so now I know that I have 10 marked voles in this large population, right? They actually do tell you that the actual number is 50, but you're going to use this data as like how close with this method can you actually get to 50. So now I will do a trial where I open the traps, close the traps, and this is trial 1. In the traps I have a total of 6 voles, and 2 of them are marked. So I would record that on my data table, and now I release those voles. That was trial 1. And I would do it again. Open, close. What do I got? 4 in the traps. None of them are marked for trial 2. And this would be a quick way to do it. So if you want to speed up the process instead of like pulling beans like 10 each time, this would be a way to generate some data quickly for yourself if you're doing the mark and recapture exercise. I think that might be it. You could try and see what happens if you change the population, if you change the distribution, but again, finish 10 trials using just one setup, and then if you wanted to try something else to see what happens and how it changes your results, start over, right? Don't change things in the middle of your trials. All right, this is Mark and Recapture. See ya.